not cultured at all. Y'all niggas is black. You're black. You're just black. You're just fully American. You're African American, bro. That's it. You're not Trinidadian. You're not Jamaican. You're not African. You're not Dominican. You are American.
I farted so loud.
That's not saying black people have no culture is probably the least surprising thing given its ties to the Caribbean, because a lot of people from across the diaspora just love to shit on us for a lack of culture, despite the whole world, not just the diaspora, wanting to take aspects from our shit and then morph it into their own thing. But that's a discussion for another day.
And for you to go so far to say we uncultured, the audacity. How can you go so far to say we uncultured when you participate in and profit off of our culture?
I haven't been on the internet for a couple days, so you can imagine my surprise when I come back to notice Kai Cenat went on an unhinged tirade disrespecting black Americans and invalidating our culture, which is hilarious because in the video he very literally has rap music playing in the background and wears clothes that were brought to him by that same culture that he says doesn't exist. Now, this video is an attack on Kai Cenat or his character, but rather a conversation of the larger problem that we have in the black community, as dark-skinned people, I should say. Since we gotta get so specific, black people like me, African descendants of slaves, are often looked at as less than because we can't trace back our ancestry. And people who aren't descendants of slaves won't identify as black and will rather identify as African, Caribbean, whatever the case may be.
I know black. I ain't Dominican. I'm Puerto Rican. I know black. Be looking just like me. Be having the same hair. I be touching it like, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same, papi. It's not the same. They try to salsa that shit off. I'd be like, no.
I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody identifying as a country that they're from because that's their culture. What I say there's a problem with is when people act like, oh no, we're different because we ended up here a different way. We all here, bro. Seeing this video reminded me of the first time I ever realized that there was a difference between black and Jamaican or black and African. I was getting made fun of by my white friends at the time. They were making all type of slave jokes, calling me the N-word hard R. I was young, but it was before I found my voice, so I kind of sat there and took it. The homie who was black, dark skinned with dreads, so he ain't hiding it or nothing. He just sitting there laughing. I look at him crazy, and I look dead in his eyes. You know what he says to me? He says, I don't know why you looking at me. I'm Jamaican. That's not my history. That's when I realized the difference, the disconnect that we have within the community. People who were otherwise black when it was convenient, listened to all rap music, wore Air Jordans, and lived black culture, would then turn around and spit in its face when it was convenient for them. And not necessarily saying that everybody does this or everybody who comes from that background does this, but I saw this in somebody who I was very close with at the time and who I had a lot of respect for, and that's why it reminds me of this.
Everybody wanna be a nigga, but nobody wanna be a nigga.
I'm very proud of being African American. Obviously we got culture.
Peep how in the last clip he was Trinidadian, but now he African American. Make it make sense. A majority of the speakers for the black community on the internet are African or Caribbean, and we don't get to hear black voices on such a large platform that we hear Kai Cenat, that we hear Fresh and Fit, that we hear Abba and Preach.
When it comes to this content creation shit, I'm one of the fucking pioneers of this African American shit.
Considering yourself African American after saying something like that is insane to me. And acknowledging your place in that community while still disrespecting it. How are you gonna profit off the community and literally become a speaker for that same community that you are going to downplay and disrespect on live? See, that's crazy to me. That's insane to me. And it makes me legitimately angry, but it's a problem that we see everywhere. We just gotta come together, bro, as black people. Put our differences aside. Nah, not even put our differences aside, because our differences are our differences and what make us special, but not let our differences get in the way of our connection. I wanted to add that black is a term adopted by the African American community, but not exclusive to descendants of slaves. So it's possible to be proud of being black and respectful to all black cultures, but still hold on to your heritage and your nationality. And I think we could all exist under that umbrella while still being true and remaining proud of our individual cultures.